Good morning. Welcome to Transwest Truck Trailer RV of Frederick. For those of you that aren't familiar, I'm Callie Say, and I'm in horse trailer and toy hauler sales. And this is my assistant, Andrew Lyons. He's trying to learn how to sell a toy hauler today. He's also the general manager here.
Good morning, everybody. Yeah, we're in a Cimarron Outlaw toy hauler today, and right now we're literally looking over some of the specs, some of the the little bits and pieces that make all this come together, and why we did certain things, and what we think makes it great.
Yep. So if Avin wants to go and pull up the spec sheet.
Yeah. Are we flipped over to a spec sheet? Cool. So this trailer, we've got a 16-foot garage, a good spot for all your toys, whether it's dirt bikes or snowmobiles or ATVs, side-by-sides or whatever. And then the living area up here is also 16 feet with a slide out. We're very familiar with the horse trailer business, and you can see a lot of things in this trailer that will relate back to the horse trailer business because we're used to that. The reason we did this and the way we laid a lot of this stuff out is stuff that we've learned from the horse trailer business and applied it to a toy hauler. And the reason to go even further into it, another reason for all this is there's a lot of toy haulers out there that are made from fifth wheels. They basically started life as a fifth wheel and have been turned into toy haulers. So we wanted to make something that would last longer, be stronger, you can put more weight in it, there'll be a lot less issues. So I think this is a great combination. It's the strength we've learned from a horse trailer, from building horse trailers over the years. We've learned how to make stuff strong and make it last, and then we've applied that to a toy hauler system and tried to get it to where you can fit. I mean, you're never going to fit everything in here. We have to be realistic. We can build a lot of different things, but at some point you have to say, we have to build this length to start with. So we can build custom stuff down the line. We can build stuff per order and make them bigger or smaller or whatever you want, but this is just a great medium size, like a 4-seat side-by-side will go in here, a golf cart, multiple dirt bikes, snowmobiles, that kind of stuff. So I think it's a great little combination.
So this is bigger than our standard horse trailers, correct?
Yes, than what we would typically build as a horse trailer, yes.
Because we went a little bit wider as well as a little bit taller.
Yeah, what are we, 1.5, basically very close to 102 wide. We went extra high, it's a 710 tall. That way your rear opening is bigger. You can fit in, I believe a Polaris, I gotta get this right, a Polaris Ranger. You can drive a Polaris Ranger in here, in the back. And that's, what else is taller than that, Callie? All the dirt bikes are good, snowmobiles
with all those
dirt bikes are good, snowmobiles are good. A smaller Jeep would actually fit in here.
Just like the 2-seater Jeeps?
Yeah, the smaller older 2-seater Jeeps, or even the the Mahindra Jeep would fit in here.
And then just all the kayaks, anything you want to bring on your vacation. A lot of people are going out, they're going to a lake or something like that. You can throw your paddle boards in here.
Paddle boards, jet skis, small boats.
Mm-hmm.
It's also sits taller on the axles, correct? So that you can take it up.
Yep, we made it for more of an off-roading type of trailer. As far as,
when we get outside, we'll show you, we've got some extra ground clearance that we built in intentionally, so that you can go a lot more places, and it gives you more clearance between the bed of the truck and the bottom of the gooseneck here as well. So,
but one of the things in here that we want to go over, and we'll start kicking through some of this technology, is these are a lot more high-tech than what we've been used to, correct?
Yeah, the horse trailer business, we've stuck mostly very conventional batteries, power systems, generator systems. We've stayed pretty conventional. This trailer, these are a little different. We have lithium-ion batteries, big inverters, tied into a generator system, and what that does is it lets you dry camp for longer without starting your generator. There's 4 lithium-ion batteries in there, and through the inverter they will run the TVs, I guess, microwave, your radio, sound, all that kind of stuff. So you can set up somewhere and run all that stuff for extended periods of time and not need to start the generator. If you want your air conditioning, you would have to start your generator. The heat is propane, so no generator involved there. What size heater do we have, Callie?
25,000 BTU heater.
So a propane fired heater, very easy to run.
So what I'll do is I'll leave my assistant here in the dinette, and we'll kind of start working around. I want to start by pointing out up here in the bed area, you've got 2 entrances up here, so you're not having to climb over your spouse to get in and out of bed. I think it's very, very functional. For those of you that are used to having more of a fifth wheel, where you've got a lot more head clearance, you can walk up to your bed. This is a great alternative because it gives you more private entrances. You're not going to have to worry about waking somebody up just to get down at night. Up there we do have a TV. Do you want to talk, Andrew, about the kind of TVs we decided to upgrade to?
Yeah, so the TVs in here, you can run them several different ways. This has a Wi-Fi system on the trailer that you can run through a cellular data system. You just need to put a SIM card in it, so you can run them as smart TVs, or it's pre-wired and you can set them up on a satellite system as well. Or you can go local channels as well.
Yeah, if we turn these on right now, we would have since we're pretty close to Denver, we would have quite a few options that we could use. Having the Wi-Fi system though is really important. If you've got, a lot of people are getting rid of their cable subscriptions and they're kind of going to more app-based technology. So like you can get your HBO, your Netflix, your Hulu, all of that stuff. And these TVs are capable of running those apps, which is really cool. Right behind you, this is kind of some of our systems you've got here. So you do have the ability to manually start your generator here.
Yep.
But you can also go through the inverter. Do you want to talk to us a little bit about why we set up with the auto gen start and what that inverter does?
Yeah, so with the Xantrax system, it gives you a lot of options. To simplify it, what it means, once it's set up, if the batteries get low, it will automatically start the generator. You don't even have to think about it. Once it's set, the generator will start. If the batteries get low, once they're charged, it'll automatically shut off.
Now what happens if you're accidentally parked this, you forgot to turn that off? Is there any safety features that we built in, or?
Well, that's a really good question, and that leads to another whole conversation, but we'll touch on it briefly today. But part of it is a big safety issue. Generators make CO gas, which is lethal. So what we've done on these trailers is they have carbon monoxide detectors built in. If it senses a level of CO that's not safe, it will actually shut the generator off. So if you were to park this in a building or somewhere there's not enough ventilation, it will actually shut the generator off and probably save somebody's life, which I think is a great feature. It's not on all RVs, and I think it's something that should be.
Especially since we have so many sleeping areas. Once we go to the garage area, we'll kind of show you guys. There's a ton of living as well back there, and that's kind of where we've put our generators. So it's very important that we have a way to keep everybody safe in this trailer.
It's a really great feature, I believe, and if it saves one life, it's more than worth it.
Yeah. So that inverter, we put that inverter outside, and we'll kind of go over that and how it runs all the power once we get out there. But one thing that we did that's really cool is we put the batteries inside on this
The
one.
batteries are inside, and there's a couple of reasons for this. Lithium batteries don't like cold. They don't generate gas like a lead acid battery, so we can bring them inside. They don't generate as much heat, but they don't like the cold. So what we did is we brought the batteries are inside, so now if it gets really cold, they're protected from the cold. And when I say they don't like the cold, if they get below basically freezing point, they don't like to charge. They will still discharge. You can still use them, but they don't like to charge. So the beauty of having them in here is that they will charge. You know, obviously once you turn the heat on and get everything moving in here, the batteries will charge. So that's why the batteries are inside. The inverter is actually outside. It doesn't really care where it is, and it does generate some heat. So having it out there, it lets that heat out, and it can just kind of do its own thing out there. And
it also makes it a lot quieter by not having it in here.
yeah, it's quieter. You don't get the heat off it, so it's a good setup.
Yeah. These batteries, they also accept more charge and can dispel more charge than a standard lead acid battery. So on this inverter system, we did have set the parameters.
Yeah, you have to
reflect that.
adjust the parameters for lithium ion batteries, because there's a lot more battery capacity there than what you're typically going to see on a typical toy hauler or even horse trailer. Those batteries are 100 amp hours a piece, and there's 4 of them, 400 amp hours. That's a lot of runtime. I mean, you will see a lot of big RVs that don't have that kind of battery capacity. We really need to do a test, and we can come back to this in another video. We need to do a true run test. We need to do a true run test and make sure that we know how long everything will run for. So we'll circle back on another video for that.
Okay.
And we can give some people some real numbers on how long that will actually run this trailer, because I honestly don't know. I know it's probably days.
Yeah, and one of the nice things is if you do let these batteries get too low and your AutoGen start isn't on, you can still turn them on to hook this up to your truck, correct?
Yeah, once they see incoming power, whether it's from the pickup, whether it's from a generator, whether you plug in somewhere, these batteries basically will light back up and basically turn themselves on and accept power. If they truly go into a deep sleep, there is a button on them, which is also a power level. They actually have a meter on the battery, and you can check the level there too, and also reset them. If you want to you can shut them off there. There's really no reason that you'd ever need to, but it is there if you want it.
And we do have them kind of stacked sideways. The nice thing about these is they're not like the lead acid batteries. You can kind of turn them, flip them whichever way you want.
Yeah, you can orientate them any way you want. There's no acid to leak out. There's no...
I can actually carry them.
Yeah,
They're light.
They're lightweight. So it totally changes the way we look at batteries. And we're learning. Everybody's learning about lithium batteries. I don't believe we're there yet as far as even our mindset of how to use them. I think there's even a lot more to come. We're so used to lead acid batteries that are, there's acid leaks out of them. They're dirty. They're grimy. The gas that comes from a lead acid battery is explosive, and a lot of people don't realize that. So these lithiums, they've kind of had a bad rap in some ways, because there has been fires started by lithium batteries, and it's a conversation we all need to have. But I think the options that you can get and the features and benefits of lithium, I think over time everyone will see that outweighs the lead acid options. Yes, they're more expensive, but they last. We don't know how long they're going to last, to be honest. We haven't truly run these trailers long enough to know what their lifespan is. The other great thing that I need to mention, I almost forgot this, if you freeze a lead acid battery that's dead, like if a lead acid battery is drained and you freeze it, it's done. Its life is over. You can bring it back, but you only have a very minimal, it's probably a 5 to 10% if you get it back, capacity of what it should be. This lithium battery, if it goes dead, if you run it dead and freeze it, it doesn't matter. It will always come back to life. So, so another great, we change batteries in living quarters, especially
All the time.
all the time. Lead acid batteries. They're just, I don't even know how many batteries we go through, but it's a lot. Every used trailer we get in, we almost have to put new batteries in it.
So even though these are a little more expensive at the beginning, they're probably going to cost you less in the long run, and that's
in the long run, it would cost you less. Yes.
And that's kind of what we try and preach a lot on our Cimarrons with our Outlaw conversions, is the cost of ownership over the lifespan. A lot of using high quality materials will save you a lot of money in the long run. So
yeah, I believe that system in the long run will save you money.
Yeah.
And it's a nice, it's really nice if you can pull into a campsite, run your microwave, watch TV. If you're using this as an office or whatever, you've got all your lights, you've got everything, your fridge is on, so you've got everything going, and you don't have to start a generator. So it's nice and quiet and peaceful. And if you need to charge those batteries during the day or something, do it while you're away. You could even charge them. If you're off doing your thing during the day, you can charge them during the day. So. And
they charge really fast too.
And they charge fast. So.
Yeah.
No, a great benefit there. So I'll let you keep
going
moving here, Kathleen.
All right. So in the kitchen area, do have a microwave, and right now we are running it off of the batteries through the inverter. You've got a 2-burner cooktop. Runs off propane. Nice sink. And then what I really like about this trailer is we've done this setup, so we've either got a couch right here or the dinette. And we did the dinette on this one, but I really like having a lot of space to sit down, eat dinner, do a lot of paperwork or anything like that. So we've got this setup, but if you guys want to get a little more comfortable, we also sell this version with a couch right here. And then you have the bar top here, so if you do have a couple kids or you need a little bit more eating space, that is available to you there. Outlaw is really big on storage, so they will throw storage just about anywhere they can find a space. So you're not going to be very limited. Andrew, if you open up right underneath your
underneath
foot.
Me.
There's
storage, and there's probably on both sides too, isn't it?
It's really nice because if you do have extra people sleeping here, this dinette will drop down into another bed. So you've got...
Kelly, why don't you open that cabinet up there? I would just want to make sure we look at all the storage in this trailer.
There's a little bit of a revenge war going on right now between all the horse trailer people and my assistant. I'm a little gun shy right now.
And there's a nice set of drawers there as well.
Yep. They do close really nicely. They're not self-close, but really good hardware on them. Down here we do have the water heater. And why do we do the smaller water heater on this one? It's a 6-0.
There's a couple of different thoughts about all this, but I like the small one because the recovery time on it is really fast. So someone can take a shower. If they get close to or run out of hot water, the recovery time, I mean, it's literally minutes on those small water heaters. So
you can take back-to-back showers.
You can just back-to-back. Just give it a little break in between, and everyone can have a nice hot shower.
Yeah.
They work very well.
So we did a big slide, which gives you big closet storage in here. And these shelves are adjustable, so if you do need a few more shelves thrown in here, Outlaw can make some and ship some up here for you. Big fridge. You'll be able to go out camping for quite a while, keep this nice and full. And it does run off of if you're plugged in, the generator as well as propane, correct?
That is correct, yes.
So this is very, very usable. if you're going away for a long weekend. We upgraded the tank sizes on this trailer. So standard for horse trailers is 30 gallons. What did we?
Yeah, 29,
Yeah.
39 gallons. So these are, what, about 10 gallons additional for a black and gray tank. So
Yeah.
it gives you a little extra. You can stay out a little longer.
Yeah. We knew people were going to be using these pretty heavily, so we wanted to make sure there was extra storage. Those big, huge closet back here, double rod. Andrew, what's under this one? Under this closet?
Under that is a big water tank.
How come we did it back here?
There's a couple of reasons. Weight distribution is one, and obviously in these trailers, when you're building, you're trying to put so much stuff into a small space. So, you know, it's a challenge. We could have put it outside and probably gained some more, you know, more storage, but I brought it inside so you don't have to worry about it freezing.
And this one is not 4 seasons, but we can do a 4 seasons trailer.
Yes, we can.
Correct. Down here, we've got our water pump. Andrew, how long have you been working with Outlaw and Cimarron?
Outlaw since 1999. Cimarron, I don't know, we better ask Ben.
See how long
It's been a long time. We'll see if Ben's watching today.
And this shower's a pretty good size. You're a pretty tall guy. Do you think you'd feel pretty comfortable showering in something like that as far as space?
Here, let's look.
Now would have been a good time to close it and throw a bunch of those bouncy balls over there.
Oh, there's plenty of room.
Perfect. And as far as the quality of a Cimarron and an Outlaw, why did you choose to work with them?
The big part of it is because I know them well from the horse trailer business.
Okay.
So I know what we can build and how durable we can make it. So I just wanted to apply that to a toy hauler. At the end of the day, it's that simple. These trailers can be used.
And what are the warranties on these toy haulers?
Outlaw does a 3-year. So basically everything living wise should be 3 years. There's some other components that'll have a little additional warranty. And then on the Cimarron side, Cimarron has a split warranty. Am I correct?
Yeah, it's 3-year basically, hitch to bumper, and 8-year structural.
It's straight, yeah, and 8 years on the superstructure. So, and I'm confident on an application like this, you're going to have very little trouble. I mean, this is a well set up trailer and it's very well made. So, like I said before, if you think about basically a fifth wheel camper trailer and then you turn it into a toy hauler, they struggle structurally, even tires, suspension. I mean, we could go into a whole gamut of things where they really start to come apart if you use them hard. Where this here, because it's set up more like a horse trailer, we know what it can take. This trailer, I have no problem telling someone they can take this down the road and use it year after year and use it, you know, and really travel with it and use it and have very few issues. So
Is that just because it's built very similarly to our horse trailers?
yeah,
and
it's
we
built very
know
similar
how
to
those
a
operate?
it's built very similar to a horse trailer. Yes.
So we're now in the garage area. This is a 16-foot garage. What's this right here?
That's the generator. A couple of reasons we did that. We didn't want to put it down on the ground in the dirt, so it would suck up all the dirt. We put it up in here, and it does take away from this space. But we measured the side-by-sides and, you know, cars and Jeeps and all kinds of stuff. And basically the hood will come in underneath here on most things, not everything. If you have something that's super lifted or really big, it won't. But you can still utilize the floor area in here, still get the full length, but the generator's up here out of the way. It's quiet, it's well insulated. I mean, you'll barely know it's running, but it lets us get a generator on here. It didn't take from the living quarters area, so we don't have to worry about that. It's adding out, you know, it's out of the dirt, it's out of the heat, you know, and out of the junk down there. So I think that's kind of a new adventure for us. So still learning there, had to change a few little things, but I think it's going to work very well.
So we've actually had people sitting back in here with the generator running, and they have no idea it was actually going.
Yeah, they didn't
before.
realize it was on. So
what size generator did we use on this one?
I believe these are 7,000 Onan gas generators.
And why did we have to step up from the 4,000 Onan that we put on almost every one of our horse trailers?
Because of this right here. We have 2 air conditioners. And if you want to run 2 air conditioners with some, well, we're in Denver, so we're starting out at 5,000 feet. The higher a generator gets in elevation, it loses power. So between elevation, hot days, and having enough power to run 2 air conditioners, plus everything else in the trailer, you need some generator. So we upped the size of the generator basically, so it will actually run everything.
So up here we did a line and insulate, but we still have Cimarron standard roof on this trailer, correct?
You can't see it from here like we do in most horse trailers, but Cimarron standard insulated roof, just there's a liner in here to give it even more insulation. So this is very well insulated back here. Obviously these make into bed, someone can sleep back here. Yep. Heat, air, pretty comfortable back here, really.
And then what about these tracks to be able to secure all your toys?
Yeah, this is
in
a
here?
simple E-track system, aluminum. You can get all kinds of little D's and ties and different gadgets that go in there to tie down, like we've talked about, whether it's your bikes or your snowmobiles or your Jeep or a small car even would fit in here.
It's just very, very adjustable, makes it super easy to place things where you need to. Up on the roof here, we've got some outlets. We've also got the LED OptiBrite lights.
Yeah, good lighting back here, 110 outlets. One of these outlets is even run off the inverter. I'd have to check it, which one it is, but one of them is run off the inverter. So if you need to just, whether it's power tools or you need to work on something, you've got 110 power back here all the time.
Okay.
Got a couple of trays, some storage. Got a nice little shelf here.
And why don't you open that one? And
What's in this one? We have to be careful around here. There's all kinds of pranksters. So some good storage up here. Controller for that little controller there is for a fan.
And that is a rain sensing max air fan.
Yep. And earlier we talked about carbon monoxide. That's what that is right there. And it's tied into the generator.
All these hooks back here make it really easy. My husband is he races dirt bikes, and he's always got about 1 million tie downs. Throw some jackets up there. Just a lot of extra storage. Everybody's got power cords or something like that. Just made it super, super usable.
And that's a window behind there, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, that's a window back here. And it's just got a little button enclosure. It's just so that if you have somebody sleeping back here, they're not gonna, if they've been partying all night, they're not gonna wake up with the early morning sun. Let them sleep a little bit longer.
Yeah, both of these actually make into a bed.
So it's
So
really
we've got-
nice.
Yeah, one on each side, so.
What I really like about this setup too is if you do have a bunch of rowdy kids sleeping back here, they don't have to go into the living quarters, wake you up. The bathroom is easy to access. You don't have to have all that movement back and forth. So it's really separate living areas, which is really, really nice.
There's some vents in here.
So why did we do the vents?
When you have people that can stay back here, we've got fueling systems. You can put vehicles in here that have fuel in them. You have to have vents. It's basically just so that you can get fresh air in here.
And we've got the rear ramp, but you've also got a man door over on this side. So if you do need to just run through here and you don't want to put your entire ramp down, just
Yeah.
makes it really easy to get back.
Easy entry. All the light switches right there for inside and outside.
This is one of my favorite parts. Why did we do the spoiler up on the top?
The little spoiler on the back, if you look at school buses, there's a lot of vehicles. Even old Suburbans used to have them. Some of the new ones have them again, but they're more integrated. And what that does is it takes air coming across the roof and blows it down the back, and it just keeps all the dirt or snow or, you know, whatever you're in off the ramp. So you can travel, you know, like I said, in the snow or the dirt, the dust, and it keeps it off that back door and keeps it nice and clean. And it looks cool.
It does look cool. It makes you go fast.
I have that on my snowmobile trailer, and you can run in snow for hours and you don't get that big buildup on the back. So I can testify that that works.
Perfect. And we've got the cable assist for this ramp. It makes it very easy to put up and down. At the end, when we close everything up, I'll make sure that my assistant does it since he's the weaker one.
Am I shutting the ramp?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
You can show him how easy it is.
Well, it's light. So that's easy.
It's not like the old ramps of old that take 3 people to put up and down.
Here, let's talk about this too. This little guard here, it's basically a piece of rubber, and what that does, it comes tight when you close the ramp, so it seals off all that hinge and keeps the dust and dirt, mud, snow, whatever out of the ramp hinges. So great little add-on there to keep all that clean.
So it doesn't bind up when it comes up and down.
Yes.
So this is something that a lot of people, when they see these trailers, they get super excited about. Right under here, we have our 30-gallon fuel tank. And you can just pull your toys right up there, and you've got a nice little fueling station. And Andrew, the generator pulls off of this fuel tank as well, correct?
Yes, this tank is dual purpose basically. It is the fueling station and it also feeds the generator. 30 gallons.
30 gallons. All right, so now we had mentioned we were going to kind of talk about some of the extra clearance we gave ourselves on this trailer.
Yeah, so when you order a torsion axle, you can order the angle of the swing arm basically. So what that lets you do is change how high the trailer will travel and give you extra clearance. Most horse trailers, a lot of your smaller cargo trailers, the swing arm is angled up. This one is angled down, and it gives, I mean, you can see that this trailer sits quite a bit higher. It gives us a lot of clearance, and that's how we do that. We've reversed the angle of that arm to give it clearance.
And we also block the axle 3
Yeah,
inches
and there's a
as
little
well.
bit of an axle block in there too to give it even more. So you could get in and out of a lot of places with this trailer, where a typical cargo trailer style trailer, basically what happens is the back end hangs up, or up in here in the middle they'll hang, because of the distance, you'll belly out in the center, but this gives you a lot more clearance.
And if you'll look under there, everything's really clean and tucked away. You don't have the tanks hanging down.
Tanks aren't hanging way down.
Those are those 39-gallon wastewater tanks. Andrew, why don't you talk a little bit about why we do these lights here?
That's basically a safety issue, and it's a mid-turn signal. These trailers are long, so what happens if there's a vehicle up beside you and you want to turn, because you've got to go wide to turn, they can't see your rear turn signal. So what that does, it indicates that you're trying to turn, and it gives everybody an extra light, to see, so that, yeah. What happens at an intersection, because you're longer, you've got to go wider. people will sneak up in here trying to get by you. But this here lets them know that you're actually trying to turn, is what it really does, yeah.
And why did we do the spread on this one?
The spread axle does a couple of things. It helps balance these trailers out. So when you're running down the road, they don't want to rock, you know, and you get rid of some of that bucking action. The other thing it does is when you've got a trailer this long, like I talked about before, you're trying to bridge a certain length. So if you go over something, what it does is it shortens down that bridge so you don't belly out so fast. So it shortens this, it basically shortens this bridge length, and it shortens your tail overhang because now your wheels are out further. So it gives you a better approach and departure angles.
And then we did the side extrusions on this lower part here.
Yeah, we did this. It makes the trailer stronger. This is obviously a lot heavier material than just the side sheet, so it makes the trailer stronger. And it also just changed the look. We just didn't want it to look like another horse trailer or another cargo trailer. So if we would have run the sheet all the way down, it would have looked a lot like every other cargo trailer. Most of your horse trailers, there's a lot of them around here, this slat comes up a lot higher, typically around the horse area. But we decided to do this just to make it look different and make it a little stronger.
And it also is a lot more heavy duty as far as you're not going to get quite so many issues with scratches down below.
Yeah, it's a lot heavier duty. Like I said, it's stronger. It can take a lot more abuse.
If somebody leans a bike up against the side and it falls over, you're going to be okay.
Yep.
So right up here, you're going to have to open this door because I'm a little bit short.
Is this a trap?
You just never know, do you?
No. So there's that generator. The generator has its own battery. A couple of reasons for that. The generator is now not relying on the batteries of the rest of the system. So no matter what happens, you can always start your generator, which I think is a great feature.
And that battery, is that a lead acid or is that a lithium?
That one is a lead acid at this point in time. A couple of reasons there still. I don't think we've evolved far enough on the lithium starting battery technology. We're getting really close. Once I have it, they'll be in there. But we need to make it a little bit further. We need to do some more testing. There are some out there. I just want to do a little more testing before we go that way.
And this door has quite a bit of air gaps in this. Is that just for a lot of...
Yeah, this generator, the way it's mounted, these generators can't... Let me open this up again. The way these generators are made, all their venting is on the bottom. So they have a cold intake side and an exhaust and hot air side. So what we've done is we've louvered this door and raised the generator in this compartment so it has a cold air intake side, and then the hot is obviously coming out on the right.
Right, so work our way down here. We've got your city fill, and this will actually fill your water tank. So if you ever do end up going to a campground or something with water, if you've got some friends staying in it at your house, they can just hook a hose up and be able to run the water a little bit easier.
That's gravity fill and then a pressurized fill, basically.
And we went with 3 different colors on these Freedoms for now. We've got a silver, a black, and a white. I think these black ones just look really
The black
really
ones
cool.
kind of pop, yeah, they look good. So,
Yeah.
you know what that is, Callie?
I was gonna say this is kind of your, if you ever get in trouble and your slide's not gonna go back in, you've got a little crank that you can crank your slide in and out.
You have to take the cap off in there.
Yeah.
There's a little crank handle.
We'll have to find out where we place that crank somewhere in
Yeah,
this
that's a
trailer.
good question, because I don't know where it is.
Yeah, we'll have to go through some cabinets. But
Nice little, sorry to interrupt you, but there's actually an awning over the slide to keep the dirt and debris and rain off the top of your slide outs. Just helps keep them clean and helps keep the water out.
Is there any issues putting that slide out in while it's raining if it's got water on it?
No, if there's water on top of a slide out and you pull them in, you're probably going to bring in some water. It's one of those things with a slide out. that you can't really get around. The wipers will take most of that water off, but not all of it.
Just bring them in
And that's
dry
why
if
we
you can.
like to do those.
So right here you do have your shore power, and it's a 50 amp service. And why is that?
This trailer, again, 2 air conditioners, so it's really tough to run 2 air conditioners on a 30 amp service. So once you go up to 50, then you've got lots of power.
And we do have the smaller toy haulers with the 13-foot short walls in it, or living quarters, and they are also on 50 amp service. Is that?
Yeah, it's basically redundant. That way, if you want the extra power, it's there. If you want to add an extra air conditioner or something else,
You can.
that way it's set up. If somebody wants the extra power, it's already set up for it.
So right under here, we've got quite a bit going on. So roll-up door enclosure. Why do we do that on a lot of our trailers?
I like them just because it keeps everything clean. It keeps the dirt, mud, again, you know, like I was talking about on the back, the mud, the snow. If you run in the snow, you know, for a couple hours on a conventional trailer, this is all just packed full of snow. So with that door, you can keep all this stuff clean. Same in the mud. If you run down a gravel or muddy road, you know, the same again, this will all fill up with mud. So that door keeps all your stuff clean, your spare, your jacks. Like I said, the inverter's in here, so there's a lot of stuff in here that we need to take care of, and the door really helps with that.
So right in here we have our inverter. It's a Xantrax 3000, the Freedom.
And it's a pure sine inverter, so you can run anything off it, your computers, any sensitive electronics. It won't harm anything. It's a really good inverter.
Now, do you want to talk about we've got a ton of wires back here.
We got lots of wires, yeah. Most of it is, you know, user-wise, you don't have to do anything, but what it does, you've got a charge line that goes back to the generator. It keeps that separate. Then you've got breakers, basically protection for your other heavy circuits, your slide out, your owning circuits, and then to feed your main breaker box. And then obviously, the big one here is a master disconnect if you want to shut everything down.
And you've also got a disconnect inside as well.
Yeah, that disconnect inside controls that switch.
Down below here, we have our 30-pound propane bottles.
So on this trailer, propane keeps your fridge in business, your water heater, and your furnace.
And one of the reasons that we have this vented out the bottom here is
Wherever
for
you
those
have propane, you have to be vented on the lower side because propane sinks. If there's ever was a propane leak, propane always goes down. So you always want to be vented on the bottom side. Again, you know, it's just safety. We like to make sure our trailers are safe for everybody to use.
So there's a little spigot right there. If you do need to wash bikes or rinse off your razor or anything like that, if you turn your water pump on, that will pull water out of your, if you're either hooked up to city water, or it will pull water out of your water tank inside, so you can use that to clean up your toys, or if you got kids, spray them down before they go inside.
Yep. Hydraulic jacks, really nice, very simple.
Hey Andrew, what's that little black thing in there for?
This one?
Uh-huh.
If your batteries are dead or your electric pump on your jacks does not work, this handle, let's put it over here, goes in here, and you can manually run your jacks.
So on the duals, though, we have a few extra steps that we have to go through, correct?
Yeah, so on a single hydraulic jack, they've made it really easy for us. On a dual system, there's actually a valve and another, I don't know, what do you call that? There's another little...
It's a little screw that you turn back to...
You have to basically turn it back to make it work. Have we done a video for people?
No, but we need to.
We need to do that. We'll make that another video because people need to know that, because there's a lot of trailers with equalizer systems and dual jacks out there that the people don't know how to actually operate them. So
we spent one day trying to figure it out for
yeah,
quite
we
a
spent
while.
quite a bit of time one day trying to figure that out. So
Yeah.
we'll actually make a short video and we'll leave that on our, you know, on our system so that people can see that.
And we've got this hook here, and usually you've got a big 50 amp cord that'll go right there. We've got it plugged in on the other side, so we didn't bring it along with us. But that's a great place. The cords tend to get pretty dirty if they're out
Yeah,
in
and
the mud and rain.
you can throw stuff in the bottom here. There's a surge guard in here. So when you plug into somewhere and you're not sure what the power's like, this is always a great thing.
So do you always recommend running it through the surge guard?
I recommend it always. And it saves you from two things. Like if there's a power surge because of lightning or something happens with the power system, it'll protect you against that, and it'll also protect you if there's too many people plugged into those circuits and the power gets too low. That's just as bad. It'll burn up stuff as faster even than high side power surges. So it's a very cheap little insurance policy there.
So we've got our big awning out here. It's a 16-foot Power Series 9500E.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
armless, so we're not
I'll
gonna
hit the button.
run into things.
I don't have to run it in all the way, but that shows.
Okay, Andrew, since I didn't know the answer to this originally, and you were the one that taught me, why is it that we have it kind of offset? Some people think that it looks like they just put it on crooked.
It's so the water can run off. I mean, it's that simple. If they're really flat and the water gets in them, they get too heavy and it'll wreck them. But if they're tilted, the water will run down to that end.
Got a nice strip of awning lights.
Nice
underneath.
lights, yep.
Yep, some outdoor speakers for you. You can hang out under the awning. And a lot of people, when they go camping, especially if they've got these toy haulers, they're going to spend a lot of time outside. We've made the inside very, very comfortable, but a lot of people are going to throw tables out here and barbecue and everything like that. So try to make it as comfortable outside as it is inside as well.
Yeah, so between the awning, the lights, power outlets, that's obviously the outside of our water heater, a furnace, the back side of the fridge.
So yeah, we've got quite a lot built into these toy haulers. Any last comments?
Well, I think that's it. We've covered most of it. What else did we miss?
I don't think so. So we'll probably be doing, we've already created a few more videos.
Yeah, we just thought of
during this.
another video to make about jacks, so we'll do that one for you.
Yeah. If you guys tune in a couple weeks, we've got actually the manager of Cimarron.
Yeah, Ben from Cimarron will be with us here.
We'll do another toy hauler for you guys.
Soon, so we're going to do lots of videos when Ben's here, just so Ben knows.
All right, well, for anybody that wants to look up this trailer in particular, we do have the stock number right here. It is a 2020 Cimarron Freedom. This one is 5N191165. We do have quite a few options for our Freedom, so if you like this setup but you want it in white or silver, or you want something just a little bit smaller, we did a video last week on the 13-foot living quarter Freedom. There's a ton of options for you guys to check out. If you guys have questions, my name is Callie Say, and I've got the wrong clipboard. You can reach me at 970-309-6368. I want to thank my assistant for joining us today and not pranking me during the video. I think that's pretty.
There's always another video.
Always next time. So, if you guys have any questions, we're here to help. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you.